Hold on.
Hello again, we are back. And I want to just give one little recap from our last session. Thank you. When Marianne came back, remember I said that Barbie and Joanne and I were fixing dinner when Mom was gone to the sanitarium and Dad was working. And the thing is that when Mary came back, it was when Mom was back from the sanitarium. So I know I kind of misled you on the other video, but
How old was I?
about 1.5.
Yeah, you weren't quite 2.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, not quite 2. But anyway, so Joanne, Barbie, and I are back from Disneyland with Diane Dunlap. Had a wonderful time. Can't remember how long we stayed there, but we had a great little vacation, and we had a map to our new home. We had no idea where we were going. We had directions to 4269 Jan Drive, Carmichael. And
No GPS.
yeah,
No cell phones.
no cell phones. So we drove there and found our new bedrooms and our new home. And I found a job at the Countryman. I went to college at Sac State. Barbie, you were,
I was a sophomore in high school.
and you found a job.
At the 5 and Dime.
Barbie found a job, and Joe, you were.
I just want to go back to
Well, you
to
weren't there
Joel.
very long. You moved back to
I
San
moved back.
Lorenzo.
She went back to San Lorenzo.
So I already met Joel.
Did you say that Mom had just come out of the sanitarium?
No, I was
That was-
recapping.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
Way
say
back.
that.
Yeah, no, that
Where
was
we
back
left
on-
off, because
Okay.
I didn't make it clear that, we three and Dad were alone at San,
Yeah.
and
But I was with Marianne, with Aunt Mary.
You were?
yes, but
Yes.
yes.
But
you
then
were.
I came back.
But you came back, but
Yeah.
she stayed. She
Okay.
didn't come until Mom
Someone
came
was
home.
home. Okay.
That was just a recap.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
It's a rewind kind of thing.
Yeah. Rewind. So.
And correct me if
Wait.
I'm wrong, but you and Barbara shared a bedroom.
In Jan Drive?
Yeah.
Well, no, originally,
Not
not
first.
originally, Joanne and I had the middle room.
I remember them
Not the-
sitting on their bed so upset. The
Yes.
door was always closed. You guys were so upset.
Well, Joanne had already been dating Joel in San Lorenzo. She was a senior in high school, so she talked Mom and Dad into letting her go back to graduate. So
I just wanna go
for
back
that
to Joel.
short while,
Yeah.
we shared a room.
Mhm.
You and Marianne had the front
The
bedroom,
room with the.
and Debbie floated around and slept with anybody.
Debbie was a floater. And of course.
Yeah,
I grew out of that.
And she's
Yeah.
still doing it today.
Yeah.
Whoever I wasn't mad at, I slept with.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse me.
okay.
So,
So,
I did not
anyway.
know that. I didn't know that I was always told you eloped, so I didn't think
Well,
you
that
ever
was later.
eloped.
That was later.
We're getting to that.
We're still in high school. She's still a senior in high school.
At Jan Drive?
Yeah, but
No,
she
I was
left here
told that you eloped
from San
from
Lorenzo.
San Lorenzo
Oh,
and
no.
never came to Jan Drive.
No, we have a story
That
about
was
that.
what I
one.
understood.
We have another story about
That's
that.
another story.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, you're jumping the gun.
Right, right. So, anyway, so I meet my husband to be, Jerry, working at this little clothing store, and we started dating. And we were, one night, meanwhile, Joanne did go back to San Lorenzo. And I remember one night I was sitting in the car with Jerry, and I said, I think my sister's going to be eloping tonight.
You said that?
Yeah.
Well, first she had to graduate from high school.
Yeah.
Once she graduated, Mom and Dad said you have 2 weeks to find, because they went down to pick her up after the graduation. They went to the graduation
Oh,
and
I
said, you
didn't
have to
come
come home. And she said, no, I don't want to. Dad said, you've got 2 weeks to get a job. And-
In
In-
Carmichael?
A job in San Lorenzo. She could
Oh,
stay there.
I had one. Yeah.
Well, but-
I was working at
but-
Sears.
Who
But
were
they
you
want-
staying with in San Lorenzo?
Diane.
Oh,
Diane.
yeah.
okay.
But when they called you after 2 weeks, you said, I'm not coming home. Mom and Dad got in the car and went down. And to me, in my mind, that I remember, it seemed like 3 minutes, but it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
They drove back up and Joanne's in the car. They brought her home.
Oh, they pulled me out of work.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually worked
Oh,
while I was going to
awesome.
high school. I worked at Sears, and we just hitch rides with kids that were going there. And so yeah, I was working a long time.
So she was back at Jan Drive, and that's when you and Jerry you
Yeah.
had that
That's
feeling.
when, okay, and sure enough, that's what happened.
We were up at Bucks Lake.
Yeah, Mom and Dad were up at Bucks Lake. I was home with Joanne when Joel came and got her and they left, and I remember crying and everything.
Don't do it.
I kept saying, no, no, no. And they drove off and I cried and cried and cried. And then Mom and Dad called to see how everything was going. And I'm saying, oh, everything's fine, it's fine. and then I knew I couldn't keep lying, so I said, Mom and Dad, Joanne left, Joel came and got her. And they said, we're coming home. And then Bev came home from work. And I said, Joanne's gone. And you said, no, she's not. You started laughing. I said, she's gone. So you're running through the house, Joanne, looking through the closets and everything. And then finally you realized it, and we both start crying.
Well, okay, can I go to Bucks Lake now?
You go to Bucks Lake.
Baby, you're a little one. I'm in 6th grade. And Dad said, okay, I need to talk to you, because I couldn't talk to you till you're still little. Your sister ran off and married Joel. And I was so young, I remember I said, I hate her. I started crying. I don't even know what I'm talking about, right? And they said, we're going to have to go home. And they left me there with the Pollocks.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
No. And I overheard,
That's
remember
because of
Gay
Teddy.
Pollock?
Oh, yeah.
That's because of Teddy.
I overheard Gay Pollock said, why'd they leave her with us?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought, I want to go home right now. It's not funny. Anyway.
See what I caused?
That's funny.
Yeah. So,
That's
okay.
funny.
So then that took care of that.
And Joanne,
That is interesting though, that
And
they
so-
left you.
What?
I know. I know.
I mean,
I'm
why did
not
they
leaving.
leave you?
Why did they
because of
leave me?
Teddy.
No.
Teddy was always in love with you.
Yeah,
I was
Teddy
in
always
6th
said that.
grade.
He
What
was
did I do,
always
try
in
to
love
raise
with you.
with
Okay, we have to
Teddy's?
get back to.
Okay.
Great.
Let's get back on track, guys.
So
All
now
right,
I'm
so-
out of the picture.
So
go.
Joanne and Joel
I'm not.
are off starting their lives together and having,
Yeah,
babies.
babies.
Yeah. And so Jerry and I were taking care of these two one weekend, and we weren't even engaged yet. We were just still dating. And Debbie and Pat got in a fight, and Debbie's chasing Pat around the house, and she pushed him, and he fell.
I think it was like 3, wasn't I?
Yeah, around 3-ish, right?
How does a 3-year-old get in
Yeah.
a fight with a 7? I mean,
I see it all the
Debbie's
time in
looking
my
very guilty.
grandchildren.
So Jerry helped me bundle him up and wrapped him in a blanket, and we took him to, well, who was our doctor then, guys?
that's where I got the
Anderson,
cut up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was
Wasn't
our,
Dr. Anderson or
it was our family doctor, can't think of his name.
Very violent women in this family.
Okay,
Go
anyway, family doctor took care of my little brother. We went back home, decided we were gonna go swimming, and of course you couldn't go, but we all had got our bathing suits on, and Debbie and Jerry were standing up by the pool, and Debbie pushed Jerry, and he fell and clipped his,
He fell at
an angle.
At an angle.
clipped his chin, started bleeding. So I grabbed the kids again, took him back to the
that
same
one down
doctor.
there, I tell you.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, what's going on at the Hutton house?
Yeah.
This she-devil over here is...
Yeah.
No, but, so that's what I remember. And anybody want to fill in?
I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Pat, you might. Mom and Dad, or Dad bought Rowdy. Do you remember the horse Rowdy?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he didn't have anywhere to put it, to
Yeah.
store it for a while, so he was in our backyard.
Right.
And you'd see this, it's a big horse. This big head would go over the fence, and people would be driving along, all of a sudden go, here's this horse's head sticking over the fence, looking around.
But at the time, there was no house behind us. Remember, it was
There
all
wasn't, yeah, there
field.
was no,
Right.
yeah.
It was all field
Yeah.
for a long time.
Dad and I used to run down this little ramp.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mhm.
He'd hold my hand, we'd run down, and
Yeah.
then one time there was a wire in the ground. I still have the scar right here. And it ripped me open, and Dad picked me up and never took me to the doctors. I should have probably had
He
stitches.
stitched it up himself.
He just put a Band-Aid on it.
You know,
That's
Dad.
what they did back then.
That's-
I
yeah,
fell
they
out of that
did.
oak tree, across the street.
Yeah.
And I fell, because we were always building forts, so there was wood with nails sticking through them. And I fell out, and
I think we
a
talked
nail
about
went
that.
all the way in
Well,
my,
this is the
so far in my
backyard?
legs. No, across the street.
The field.
Main Drive.
Oh, the field.
Yeah.
I couldn't even pull it out. I had the board, I couldn't pull the nail out.
Oh, gosh.
So I was walking home, Dad had just
With
gotten
the
home
board
from
hanging
work.
on?
Yeah, I'm walking back with this board, and he goes, "What the hell? What's the matter? the hell is that? I said, well, I think I got a nail stuck in there. And I did. So
Did they do tetanus
pulled it
shots
out.
back then?
I never got a tetanus shot.
Oh, you're
Pulled
kidding.
No, pulled it out, put a
Put a Band-Aid on it.
a little whiskey on it, and put a Band-Aid on it. So.
Well,